All right, you guys, welcome back and happy Valentine's Day or unhappy Valentine's Day if you are like me and part of the singles population today. I am going to try and keep this video as quick as possible, very short. So I'm going to run through and I'm not going to harp on technique because I do want to try and get this out in as few parts as possible because I want to get it posted on Valentine's Day if possible. And I meant to film 2 days ago and then yesterday and even earlier today, and that didn't happen because life. So we are actually filming the day before and I'm running out of time. So let's just get into it. If I look a little bit pale, that is because I am going to be featuring the She Glam Twilight Saga collection. Now, if you have been following this page for a while, you know that I do not F with She Glam anymore. However, this was a birthday present. I turned 44 last month. This was sent by my family, and a present is a present. This is the last time I'm going to say the word She Glam, and we are going to move forward. So let's get into it. They saw that I have been collecting PR packages, and so I'm going to show you what is inside. And we're going to use a couple of the things in the collection. Since there is a heart theme, I thought this would be perfect to showcase it. So we have got a little mini palette of eyeshadows that we are going to use in this look. We have a liquid blush, which we are also going to use. A very liquid highlighter, which is basically a body oil with glitter, which we will also be using in this look. A lip oil we'll be using. A locket, which has a solid perfume, which we will not be using because you can't smell it. So what's the point? A finishing spray, a setting spray that mixes up, and we will be using this. I've been hearing actually really good stuff about it. The only problem I see is how exactly do you store this? It falls over. Am I supposed to like put it on a lanyard and carry it around with me? I do not know. And then finally, there are some lip stains down here, which we will not be using because a friend of mine saw these and said, "Oh my gosh, I've been wanting to try these so bad." And I thought, you know what? Share the love. So she is going to get her pick, and I don't know which, so I'm not going to be using them just in case I accidentally use the one she wants. So that is what is going on today. And the inspiration is this t-shirt. I know you guys can't really see it up close on YouTube, but it is the Disney villains. And of course, we love the Disney villains here on this channel. We got the PR box for that, and we will also be using one of the palettes. So let's just get into it. I already have a base on. I'm a little bit pale, and I've done my eyebrows. So we're going to just jump straight in with this palette and build a base for these eyeshadows that we're going to be using. So I'm just going to pop in with a little bit of a fluffy brush here. I'm going to go into this red here. These are pigmented, so I'm just going to dab a little bit, grab my Villain's hand mirror here, and we're just going to go all over the lid and just lay down a base color, something like that. All right, switching now into a little bit of a denser brush, I'm going to go into this darker raspberry shade here, and I'm going to just deepen this outer corner a little bit. Now going in with a little bit of this cranberry color and just kind of mixing them together to pull out my outer corner even further into a little bit of a winged out shape. Again, continuing to blend as I go. So we have 3 colors now working, and I continuously blend back in as I pull out. Grabbing a relatively clean blending brush, I'm just going to make sure that that's nice and cute and seamless. All right, now getting into this Twilight palette here, I'm going to take my finger and go into this really pretty, oh, it's so creamy, shimmer shade. I'm going to tap it over my lid, starting at the inner corner, and I'm going to work my way out. I'm not going to cover all the way out. I'm going to stop right where that blend kind of starts. I'm going to go just to the top of my crease. I'm not going to go all the way up until it looks something kind of like that. Repeat it on the other side like that. All right. For the next step, you need to get a roommate who makes things for you. So I went out to a couple stores to look for Valentine's Day stencils. I could not find them. So I printed out a couple different sizes of hearts, got a roommate to trace them out onto some plastic and cut them out with an X-Acto knife. And this is what I got. Get a little closer here to the cameras. There we go. So now I'm taking a liquid eyeshadow. This one is from About Face. This is their fluid eye paint in the shade. Oh my gosh, I need glasses. I have them. I'm not wearing them. I think it's Scream of Consciousness. Somebody can correct me in the comments. Now I'm going to get some on the back of my hand. Then I'm going to take a flat but fluffy packing brush like this one. I'm going to put my custom stencil up to my cheek, just kind of in this general vicinity. Dip my brush in. I'm going to tap that onto my stencil. And I get something like that. I'm going to do another one around here. Actually, I'm going to wait on that one. Let's go ahead to the other side and repeat the step. Let's place one a little higher, I think. Now this does dry very quickly, so I need to add a little bit more. And don't worry if they're not perfectly like aligned on both sides. We can make them less symmetrical. And that way it looks like you did it on purpose. So let's throw one up in here. And we'll do one over here. Sorry, there's not really a cute angle to do this in. And you can do more or less. You can do pink or purple. You can be alternative for Valentine's Day if you want. Go green or, I don't know, electric blue. You could do these in UV reflective paint. Go to a rave, get some black light on there. Just, have fun with it. And then we'll do, I think maybe one more going a little further out from the temple. Maybe go in a different direction. Now, I'm getting these on my fingers, so to prevent accidental transfer, I'm going to clean them up. I'm going to throw this one going that way. And I think this one maybe goes over here like that. It looks like I got a little bit where it shouldn't be. So let's see if I can clean some of that up. So now I'll take my sponge that I applied my foundation with and just go over that. So now we've got something that looks like that. Now these are a little too cutesy for me. So the next step is where we're going to have a little bit of fun. I'm going to make sure that these are completely dry, and then I'm going to go in. My goodness, got to get this really clean. Now I'm going to go in with a liquid concealer. This one is from NYX, but you can grab whatever works for you. Again, I'm just going to squeeze out a little bit on the back of my hand. And now you can use a very fine eyeshadow or eyeliner brush, but I have got these little sanitary one-time use brushes that I think are going to be a little bit easier for me personally. I got out 2 different sizes. I think that I'm going to try the smaller size first. So now I'm just going to use the foundation or the concealer, and I'm going to take these little cutesy hearts and I'm going to break them. So now I'm just going to go, I'll start with the heart I did first because that's going to be the most dry. And using the concealer, I am going to break it. Just going to paint a little broken line through it, just like that. It doesn't have to be very sharp or clean, just kind of whatever feels right. And then I'm just going to go ahead and do the same to the rest. All right, so that's what we're looking like so far. Now, because we are going with a Twilight theme, kind of, I'm going to go ahead and run through the rest of my makeup. So I am going to jump in and give a little bit of contour, vampire style. So I'm going to find the lowest part of my cheekbone, right about there. I'm going to give myself a little bit of carving, do the same here, a little bit up in my temples, just to really give that suggestion of sharp, shadowy cut cheekbones and slim faces. All right, we're a little bit sharper than I'm used to, but anything for the theme, right? So now let's go ahead and try out this liquid blush. I have a feeling it's going to be a lot brighter and more intense than I'm used to. So we're just going to do a dot right there. Oh dear. And let's blend. All right, it's not as scary as I thought. Actually, that's really pretty. Okay, never judge a blush by its packaging. I thought I was going to get an intense ruby red going on, but actually, it's really nice. And it's blending out really soft. Is there a name for this? Forbidden Love Liquid Blush in the shade Vitality. All right. And you know what? I think we can actually set this one with one of my Villains blushes. So we'll do that in a little bit because now I want to set with some powders. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just set with some translucent powder, and I will be right back. Okay, so let's go ahead and now do our powder product. So this is a cream to powder in the shade Wretched from the Villains collection. I'm just going to go very soft when I'm loading this. Yeah, that finished that off nicely. Let's bring a little bit of highlighter in because it is not a vampire look without some shimmer. I'm just going to bring that right up to the temple, or excuse me, to the top of the cheekbone. My goodness. I'm going to sweep it on the bridge of my nose and across my cupid's bow. All right, now I'm going to just tap the teeny tiniest amount of the concealer that I still have under here, just the tiniest bit. I may have already gotten too much, just to kind of brighten in here before we finish under our eyes. A little bit more across there to tighten. Okay, wipe off the excess. Shouldn't have done that. Anyway, now I want to go back in with our Twilight eyeshadow palette, and I want to see if I can't do just the tiniest amount of that white sparkle here, just in the inner corner right there. Just a little more brightness. Okay, now that we've done that, why don't we do maybe one more part on each side? Actually, I did need to do that. Okay, the top of our cheeks. Yeah. I'm going to do like one here. I think I'll flip this one and do one here. Oh, got a little smudge. You know what? I think I'm going to leave those unbroken. Maybe there's a little bit of hope left for me. We'll keep some hope. How do we feel about that? Let's just, come on. How do we feel about that? We're good? Okay, so now let's finish up the eyes with some mascara. And I'm just going to fly through this. Okay, let's throw on a classic red lip. I've just got a red liner here from NYX. And of course, the Super Stay Vinyl Ink from Maybelline New York in the shade Wicked. a classic here on the channel. Don't forget to blot. Okay, so let's try this lip oil. It is very lava lamp-esque. I believe it's a roller. Yes, I'm correct. So let this dry just a few more seconds. Let's give it a try. Okay, that gives a really glassy shine. Reminds me of like the 90s. Little, you get like little roller fruit oils. I don't know. If you know what I'm talking about, put it in the comments. But yeah, it feels nice. Kind of cushiony almost. I don't know. All right. So because I was going a little bit paler and I didn't want to have that line, I did go ahead and do my chest. So now we're going in for it. We're doing the whole thing. Let's go in with our highlighter drops. We'll pick it up with our little dropper here. Ah! This is a sponge situation, you guys. What do you think? Or no, probably hands. Sorry if you hear anything off camera. My cat has decided to find a box. We'll just kind of rub this into the decolletage and we'll make our next vampire ready. I don't know if the glitter is showing up on camera, but here, maybe on my hand. It is very glittery. It's like a white silver shift. I think you're gonna have to trust me on that one. All right, so let's finish off our look with our impossible to store setting spray. We have to mix it up. It's also very lava lamp prime the mister. There we go. Well, that's surprising. I expected there to be like a vent or something, but not mad at it. I don't let it dry. Let the hair down, and that is our final look. What do we think? All right, well, I hope wherever you are enjoying your Valentine's Day. Whether you are single or enjoying something with your boo, I want you to remember to stay safe, be kind to yourself. I love you always, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.